Hi all, today we are going to see a powerful and very much useful Microsoft tool, Pivot Table. I am Sabu Joseph, welcome to SVJ Academy. What is Pivot Table? It's a Microsoft tool that allows me to quickly summarize huge data sets with a few clicks. What is the use of the Pivot Table? A pivot table we can use for summarize, sort, reorganize, group, count, total, average of data which is stored in a table. So we can do everything by using pivot table. We can start. Here, this is a table containing some business data. This table have 1001 rows with data and having 7 columns. In the first column, it is showing the dates, the second region, a retail type, customer, quantity, revenue and profits. All the business concerns have to analyze their business data every month or quarterly or half yearly or yearly. So as a business head or marketing head or sales head, you may be given so many reports to the top management regarding the business performance. So the top management will ask so many reports. Some reports may not be available in our software. So the business pupils and professionals are using Microsoft Excel for generating their reports. For generating this type of business reports, we can use pivot table instead of using the normal calculations and functions. Let's see, here some regions are shown. Suppose your boss is asking what is the sale of South region or what is the profit from South region. How can you give the answer? In usual, we will filter the data of South region and we will calculate the sales volume, quantity, revenue, profits, whatever it is. You have given the South region report. Then the boss is asking about what are the top retailers in South region. How can you generate the report? So by using the filter, cut, copy, paste and everything is a very time consuming work first of all. And when we are giving a report, the management may ask for another report. So within a limited span of time, how can we prepare more reports as per the requirements of the management? Here we need the tool pivot table. So let's see, instead of filtering, totaling, subtotaling, how can we create the reports within seconds? So here I have given 3 questions. The first question is, what were the total sales in the South region? The second question is, what are the top 5 retailers by sales? And the third one is, how did the Home Depot's performance compare against the other retailers in the South? So the management is asking these 3 reports from you. They have allotted only 30 minutes time for the report. How can you prepare and give these reports within the allotted time? Don't worry, we can use pivot table. We can give the answer to the first question. What were the total sales in the South region? That we can prepare the report by using the pivot table. You click on a blank cell, go to Insert, click on Pivot Table. A pivot table dialog box will open. In the dialog box, we can see some options. The first one is select the table range. So here we have to select the entire table range containing the data. So click on the first cell, select the entire data table. After selecting the data table, the next option is choose where you want the pivot table report to be placed, whether it is to be placed in a new worksheet or on this existing worksheet. I am click on the location. You can select any blank cell, then OK. Now this is the pivot table and these are the pivot table fields. For generating the data to the pivot table, you have to drag these pivot table fields into columns, rows or values. If you are placed the fields in the row, it will show in row wise, and if it is placed on the column, it will display in columnar wise. Here the question is, what were the total sales in the south region? So I am dragging the south region to the rows area. Now showing the entire data region. We have only 4 regions, but here we have 1000 data. These 1000 rows have only 4 regions. Now we got the 4 regions. We want the revenue of the each region. So drag the revenue to the values. Now we got the answer to the first question. How much time it taken? Only few seconds. I will show again. Select a blank cell. Go to insert. On the pivot table dialog box, we have to select the table range first. So I have selected the entire table range. Then we have to select where we have to place the report, whether it is in the new sheet or existing sheet. I selected the existing sheet cell. Now the pivot table reports and fields are showing. Drag the region to rows and revenue to the values. Now the report is ready. The second question is, what are the top 5 retailers by sales? Again, we can prepare another report. Select any blank cell. Go to insert, pivot table. Select the entire data range. Select the report area. I am selecting the report area to here. Then click OK. Now the question is, what are the top 5 retailers by sales? So we have to drag the customer to the rows and revenues to the values. Now we got all the retailers, but this revenue is as per the order of the name. So from here we have to find out the top 5 retailers. Right click on the value, click on sort, click on sort largest to smallest. Now the value is arranged as per their size. This is the top 5 retailers. We got the answer. The third question is, how did the Home Depot's performance compare against the other retailers in the south region? So prepare another report. Insert, pivot table, select the entire data range, select the report area. I am selecting here. Click OK. Again the pivot table fields are showing. Here, what are the data we want? The depot with the performance of retailers in the south region. So here we can drag the region to the rows and again the customer to the rows. Now drag the revenue to the values. Now we got the answer. The 4 regions are showing. Under the 4 regions, their customers are showing with their respective sales. So we got the answer within seconds. This is a simple method of preparing the pivot table reports. But we can prepare a single report showing all the data. Just we can see another data sheet with the same data. Here we are going to prepare the pivot table in an advanced mode. Instead of preparing each report, we can get the report by dates, month, year, region, retail type, customer and everything. So go to insert, pivot table, select the entire data range, choose a location we want to place the pivot table report. Here I am choosing a new worksheet. Click on OK. A new worksheet is opened with the pivot table fields. Here you can simply drag the fields to the rows, columns or values. I am dragging the region to the rows, again retail type to the rows, again customer to the rows, the revenue to the values, the profits to the values. Now the regions with their customers, revenue and profits generated. This is a summary of the revenue and profits data. If you want more reports from this, you go to design, change the layout. On the layout, click on show in tabular form. Now the form is changed in a tabular form. Here it is showing the region, retail type, customer, revenue, profits. We want to get the data month wise. So you can drag the dates field to the row. Now showing the every month sales of each customer. If you are clicking on this collapse button, it will show the day-wise sales. Again, shrink the month, it will come back. Now, how can we get more data into the table? So that we can rearrange the row heads as per our wish. Before that, we have to beautify the report. So right click on the table, click on pivot table option. Here you can see some options. We can merge the data, so we can avoid the repetition. So click on merge data. Go to the display tab. Here it is showing the expand or collapse button. That is, this is the expand or collapse button. Untick the expand or collapse button, then OK. Now the expand or collapse button move, and the pivot table report is got some more beauty. It is merged the fields. This is the region. This is the retail type, food and staples. So all the retail type is grouped. Again, the customer is showing separately. Their total is showing separately. Now the report is changed. If you want to see this total highlighted, you can just click on the any total area. Go to home. You can give a color. The entire customer total is highlighted. Again, if you want to highlight the retail type, just click on any retail type. You can fill another color. Now the retail type total is showing a different color. Now we can easily identify the data. Now it is showing the month-wise data. The month-wise data of region, retail type, customer and their values. Do you want the day-wise sales data? You do one thing. Drag the date field to the beginning of the row. Now it is showing the date-wise report from January 2nd to January 31st. Again, February started. Now every day is showing subtotal. If you don't need to show subtotal, right click on the table, untick the subtotal retail type. Now the subtotal of retail type remove. Again showing the day-wise total. Remove the subtotal of dates. The customer type is showing subtotal. Remove the subtotal. Now the entire report is changed. But here it is showing the entire data of retail type and customers in a day-wise. Do you want the month-wise data? Do one thing. Right click on the dates. Click on group. Here you can group the dates by days, month, quarters or years. I am grouping the data by dates, month and year. Now click on OK. Now see, first it is showing the region, second it is showing the year. If you have more than 1 year's data, it will show every year separately. Now all the months total is showing with the revenue and profits. Do you want to highlight the month total? Just click on the month total. You can give any color. Now all the month total is highlighted in red color. Now the report is showing region, years, months, dates. Do you want more report? You can do one thing. You can drag the year to the beginning of the table. Now see, the year is showing first and the region is showing second. So we can get the year-wise data easily. Again, if you want the region down, either you can left click on the region, you can select the move up or move down, or you can simply drag the field to up and down. Do you want more reports? Do one thing. You can move up the month column. Now the year, month is showing. Now see, the month total expanded to the region with the respective dates. Previously it was. Now the report showing in this way. Do you want the date-wise report? You can drag the dates to the first row. Now see, every day is showing. This is 1st January, 2nd January, 3rd January with the subtotal. You can avoid the subtotal from here. Now the report is showing day-wise with the regions. Now south, west regions and the retail types and their customer data with the revenue and profit showing. Here you can remove the subtotal. Now the data rearranged. Do you want the customer wise report? You can move the customer to the beginning of the row field. Now this is the customer and that customer sale is showing day wise. You can remove the subtotal from here. Now it is showing the customer day wise. If you don't want the year, you can remove the year by clicking remove field. Now the year is removed. Now showing the sales of one customer in month wise and day wise. Do you want to move the month to the beginning? You can move up the month. Now the month is showing here. Do you want region wise report? You can move up the region. Now showing the report. Again, do you want the report by a retailer type? You can move up the retailer type to the beginning of the table. Now the retailer type is showing. If you don't want to show the dates on the report, you can simply remove the dates. Now the retailer type with the customer, with their region and the month wise total is showing. Before it was showing the day wise. Now it is showing only the month wise. If you don't want to show the month wise data, you can remove the month. Now it is showing the retailer type with the customer and region. So we can prepare the reports in any manner as we want within seconds. If you are preparing the data by cut, copy, paste, total functions and everything, we can prepare this data accurately within a limited time. See, just select the pivot table fields. It will load to the pivot table report. Now showing the total sales. Do you want the total of this customer? Right click on the customer, click on subtotal customer. Now the report showing the total of revenue from each customer. Here do you want the retailer type total? Select the report area, right click, click on subtotal retailer type. Now the subtotal of retailer type is showing here. So every retailer type, it is split into customer, region, month, year and revenue or profits. So whatever the report you want, you can create. Suppose you want to print the report of only the Midwest. So this customer is showing Midwest and this customer is showing Midwest. Either you can move the Midwest to the second column. So the region, you can move up the region. See, now the total of the region showing with the total of the each customer with the month wise report. You can see the data. The report is automatically generated by the total of the retailer, again the total of the region, again the total of the customer. From here, can we move the year to the beginning? You can simply drag the year to the beginning. Now see, the year came first and the retailer type, region, customers is shown individually. This is an entire report of the data. Suppose you want to print the Midwest data. So what you will do? You can go to filter, select the Midwest data. Now the report is showing the Midwest data only. This report you can print. If you want a single customer report to print, you can use the filter, select any customer. Now showing a single customer data to the report. So here the using filter is much time consuming and a tiresome work. Instead of using this filter, the pivot table has an amazing technique. That is, we can use slicer to the table. Slicer we can use instead of filtering the data. So how can we insert this slicer to the pivot table report. So that you have to click any area of the report. Now you can see two more options, analyze and design. You go to analyze, you can see the slicer here. Click on the slicer. When you click on the slicer, all the pivot table fields will be displayed here. So here, what are the filter we have to create, that we can tick. Here I am selecting the box region, a retail type, customer. Click OK. Now three slicers will open. You simply move the slicer to the blank field and click on each slicer. You line up the slicer. You can adjust the width height of the slicer as per the data contents and arrange the slicer. So here, before what we have done, we have used the filter to select the region. Instead, if you want the Midwest data, you can just click on the Midwest in the slicer. Now see the Midwest data loaded. Again, if you want the only food and staples in the retailer type slicer, click on food and staples. Now the only food and staples are showing. Again, if you want to see only a customer, you can click on the customer slicer, the name of the customer. Now it is showing the report of a single customer. Again, if you want one more customer to this report, just press the control key and click on another customer name. Now the report is showing the Midwest region, the retail type food and staples, the two customers data. So here some more beautification we can do to the pivot table. So we can simply drag these slices to the above pivot table report and you can resize the height of the slicer as per your wish. Here in slicer, it is showing some names other than the activated names. So how can we avoid these names? You click on any slicer, put Ctrl A, right click on any slicer, click on slicer settings. You can select this option, hide items with no data. Select the item, then click OK. See now the slicers with no data disappeared. Again, you can beautify the slicer. You can click on any slicer, go to options. Here you can give the color. Here I have given the blue, red and green. Do you want the year to the slicer? You can add any data to slicer. Click on analyze, slicer, year. Now showing the year. You can drag here. Right click, slicer settings, hide items with no data. Now the only single year is showing. If you have more years, it will show here. Again, here you can freeze the header. Click on view, freeze panes, click on the first option. Now your header will be there. Again, we can beautify the pivot report. Just select any area in the report, go to design. You can select any color from the predefined cells. See, so we can prepare the report more beautiful. That you can prepare as per your wish. So the pivot table we can prepare as per our wish within fraction of second. So for preparing the pivot table, what we should do? Prepare the data in columnar wise. Select any field of the data. Click on insert. Click on pivot table. In the selected table range dialog box, we have to select the entire data range. Then select the report we want to place in the same sheet or on a new worksheet. Clicking on new sheet, a new worksheet opened with a pivot table fields. You can simply drag the pivot table fields to the rows, columns and everything. Now see, we have seen the report in this way. We can prepare the report in column wise. Instead of rows, you can place the month to columns. Now the report is showing the months in column wise. Now place the revenue to the revenue. Now showing the customers with their sales in month wise. This is in row wise, and this report is showing column wise. More beautiful. Again here, do you want the region? Just drag the region here. Now the report is showing total of each region is showing, and the respective customers are showing. The sales of each month of this region is again showing. Now the grand total. Here again you want more data. The retail type you can place here. Now the retailer type data is also showing. Here I click on the table, pivot table option. You click on merge in the display tab and select the show or expand collapse button. Now see the expand collapse button and everything move. Now the report showing the region wise, retailer type wise, customer wise. Can we get more data? You just move the retailer type one step up. Now see, first the total is region wise, the next total is retailer type wise, and the next one is customer by month wise. Here you want to insert the profits, you just drag the profit to the profit field. Now each region with the revenue and profits showing. This is the column wise. Show the pivot table fields again. Right click on the table, click on the show field list. Now the field list will show. Here do you want to remove the customer? You just click on the customer, remove the field. Now it is showing the region wise and retailer type wise, the revenue and profits. You want only region wise, you just remove the retailer type. Now the region wise revenue and profit showing. Do you want retail type wise? Just remove the region. Now showing the region wise report. So this is the simple and powerful use of pivot table. You can prepare the pivot table. Nothing is there. The only things we have to remember before preparing the pivot table is, again I will show the data table. Your entire columns will be properly named. First requirement, you prepare the data in a table, and the column headings should be clear. Don't keep any blank columns without heading. And the second one is keep all the rows filled. Now you can easily prepare the pivot table report. Again, one more thing I will show. If you want the details of these sales, you just double click on this amount. You will get another report showing the split up data of the total. So if you want the split up of this amount profits, just double click, the split up data is created automatically. So I think you studied how to prepare the pivot table. You just prepare a data table and try to create the pivot table. You can easily do it within 2 or 3 attempts. If you really like the video, please like, share and subscribe my channel, and please enable the bell icon. You will get all notifications. We can see on next video with more powerful Excel tools. Till then, bye.